You know, one of the things that makes this channel great? You leaving comments. Because I love discussing race and ethnicity and the concepts of those things, the perceptions of those things. They only exist because we pretend to go along with this. It's a social construct. I totally get it. But we keep buying into the concept and we continue the conversation. I made this video. What exactly is interracial marriage when we are still confused about race? And two of the comments basically kind of said the same thing, and it really got me thinking, basically gave me confirmation of what I already felt and suspected. A new subscriber here, Fan Omri, at the end of his comment, he had this to say, quote, "To me, race is way less important than culture." And then Marcia, she's been subscribing for a while, or Marcia, she had this to say, quote, "I think the racial aspect is secondary to the cultural and language differences, and Italian and Mexican in some ways are very similar culturally," end quote. And that's something I had said, you know, that both of my grandparents being first generation Americans, a Mexican American marrying an Italian American, you know, they were both first generation Americans, but, you know, they had similar things in common, and I'm sure with them both being Catholic, that was one more thing that helped there with that. So, but I think it's so true and so important. You know, how do I feel about race? I truly in my heart believe that race is absolutely not the thing that is really what separates people and confuses people. It's not about physical traits and skin color. That's not what it's about. It's about culture that's built into a race. How you look is secondary to what you believe and your culture and your habits and your traditions. And sometimes those clash too much, so the divide, that separation continues. Other times there's enough similarities where it can work. So I just want to point that out. You know, because I feel like here lately that's what I'm really talking about more in my videos. That to have a channel that talks about race and ethnicity, but at the same time, the irony is that I realize it's all bogus. It's all made up. It is. You know, we can predict certain physical qualities and traits and even certainly maybe even health issues or advantage physically of certain people because they come from a different part of the world or whatever it is. But ultimately, it's in here. It's the experience. Just like I had said, I understand that for people who are Black Americans, it's about the Black experience that is shared. And if you're a white person, it's hard to really understand where they're coming from without watching a bunch of Netflix documentaries like I do, like The Racial Divide, to better understand that. So so well said, that race, ethnicity, the physical features, it's all secondary. Maybe even further beyond that. Because what it really comes down to is those shared cultural beliefs. What do you want to add to that? Right here in the comments.